y'all, welcome to Kamira's Kitchen. Today we are going to get straight into it with a soul food classic. You guys know we love those soul food candied yams, but today I'm going to teach you a little twist just to up the flavor a bit, and y'all, you are going to love it. Let's go ahead and get into it, baby. So let's get into these ingredients, okay? So of course I have my sweet potatoes. Y'all know in the country, in the South, we say yams, sweet potatoes. We really use them interchangeably. Now, technically yams are like a tuber, typically eaten in like Africa or South America or even the Caribbean. They eat yams, okay? They're different, but we know what we talking about, okay? Don't let nobody stop you, all right? When you are picking your yams, you want to go for something that has a thin skin, nice and red, okay? Nothing with too many bad spots. Honestly, a couple, if you have a few, they'll just come off. You know, it's not all the way inside. However, your yam should feel a little heavy for its size. When you get a really light yam, that means a lot of the water content has gone and it's not going to be good, okay? Of course, we're going to be using that melanated and that Caucasian sugar. All right, a little combo right there. We swirling today, okay? I have some fresh ginger. Now, y'all, don't knock it till you try it. Okay, just try it for me one good time, all right? A little salt is going to balance out the sweetness. Vanilla, I just love vanilla in here. Y'all, I'm getting low even. I need to get me some more because I love vanilla in like everything. Of course, we got that butter, baby. Now, the butter, I encourage you to get a high quality brand because the fat is really going to add a lot of flavor in this dish, okay? Now, everybody should use a little bit of nutmeg. I'm using whole nutmeg because when you grind it fresh, it has a better flavor. And I'm using this lemon. Y'all probably wondering what I'm doing with this lemon, but this lemon is going to balance out the flavor of everything else we have going on here, but it's not going to taste lemony. Now, what is really going to up the flavor is this rum. Now, I know y'all alcoholics, y'all already got this, okay? But if you get a little rum or spiced rum, I promise you, people gonna love it, okay? So I'm gonna start peeling my yams, and I'm gonna get me a little grocery bag, okay? I know y'all got these in y'all house, okay? Because I'm trying to make cleanup easy. I'm gonna take a peeler and just start getting off that skin. I know some of y'all cankles already swole, just thinking about all the standing and stuff you gonna have to do cooking on Thanksgiving. So you go ahead and get you some child labor, okay? And you get them to do stuff like this. All that peeling and, you know, all that little basic stuff, even some chopping. Baby, if they can hold a knife safely, go get them to do that chopping. I am going to cut these sweet potatoes into 1/2 inch pieces because I like mine to be a little bit on the thick side. There are some missions in the kitchen that you can only accomplish with a sharp knife. And honey, this is one of them, or else you are going to struggle. When you are done, place your potatoes to the side while you prepare the sauce. Into my 6-quart Dutch oven, I'm going to add my butter. I'm going to end up using about 1.5 sticks of butter. You can use salted or unsalted, but if you use salted butter, then don't add any additional salt. All right, y'all, that liquid gold about melted, okay? So right into this, I'm going to add my sugars. Now, how much sugar you use really depends on your sweetness preference and the quality of your yams. I am using about 1 cup of brown sugar and about 3/4 cup of white sugar, but you do it to your preference. If you like it super sweet, go ahead and do that, baby. If you don't like it as sweet, do what you want to do. I'm then gonna put in about 1.5 tablespoons of cinnamon. The salt, it's about 1/4 teaspoon of salt. I have a little grater here, and I'm going to grate in 1/2 teaspoon of fresh nutmeg. Y'all, the freshness, the fresh grating makes a big difference. Now I am going to add about 2 to 3 tablespoons of fresh lemon juice. If you don't have fresh lemon juice, you can also use about 1/2 tablespoon of lemon extract with that vanilla extract. If you do not have rum, you can use spice rum or even a nice bourbon. Bourbon will add like caramel type undertones that pairs really well with candied yams. Or if you just don't do alcohol, okay, you can still leave this out. I am simmering my sauce on a medium-low heat. I know y'all see it just bubbling and raging, but that's because these electric stoves is getting on my nerves. Y'all, I cannot wait to get a gas stove so I don't have these little heating issues. So for my ginger, I am using a piece of frozen ginger. When you freeze it, it actually becomes easier to grate. I'm going to put about half a tablespoon of fresh ginger, but you can adjust to your taste. Remember, fresh is not as strong as powder. So if you want to use powder, use maybe about half a teaspoon or so. Then I'm going to mix the yams until there is, syrup all over all of them. I am going to cover the yams and I'm going to cook them on a medium-low temperature for about 35 minutes until they are just tender, okay? You don't want these babies falling apart, so don't go too long. Halfway through, I am going to turn the yams and flip them because that's about the only time that you can stir it without them starting to fall apart. Now, you don't need to add no water to this. I know some of y'all grandmamas did that. You don't need to do that, okay? Because you got so much butter and stuff in here. You're gonna make a sauce. And if you cook this at a low enough temperature, these yams are just gonna release their own juices. And I promise you that you're gonna have enough of that sauce, okay? You have two options for how you can prepare this recipe. You can either do everything on the stovetop, or you can make your sauce and then do everything in a casserole dish. So you put your cut up yams in the casserole dish, put your sauce on top. You're gonna cover your baking dish with foil and then you're gonna place it in the oven and cook them until they are tender. With yams, that's gonna take about an hour, perhaps even an hour and 20 minutes. It does take a while if you bake them. I'm just gonna poke them with a fork. I can tell they're about 3/4 of the way done. So now I'm gonna cook them with the top off because I want the sauce to reduce. But I have that top on because I find that if I don't put the lid on, the top doesn't cook well. Okay, y'all, I'm gonna check on my yams. It's been about 35 minutes now. All I'm going to do is take a fork. It goes through really easily so I can tell that they are done. Now you can serve them straight in this pot, but I'm gonna move them to a casserole dish for easier and better presentation. I don't have that fancy, dinnerware where you can have all these cute serving dishes. So, of course, if you guys have those, you should put your yams in that because it will look super nice for your table presentation. Okay, y'all, get into these candied yams. Baby, I got me a little amount just so I can try some here, all right? I'm going to have the rest of my dinner, y'all. They're nice and sweet. There's a little subtle flavor coming from that rum. These are so good, y'all. Let me know if you are gonna try this candied yams recipe in the comments. I'll see you next time in Kamira's Kitchen. Goodbye and God bless.